What's up, everybody? Another episode of Karen's Kids Podcast, episode number 40.
Oh, shit.
40. Always with my homie Jose, and we got our reoccurring guest here.
30.
My second most famous friend. My boy Ernie.
What's up?
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, brothers?
Hey, let's cheers real quick, even though you got your little fucking water.
Always hating on my water.
Hey.
Always hating on water.
Salud, salud.
Hey,
Hey, high quality H2O.
Hey, just drink your alcohol and then don't drink water.
Okay.
Like for a week. Do that for a week.
Or drink the alcohol and don't drink water.
No, you gotta do both, man. Otherwise you'll die. You can't fucking...
Well, don't fucking hate on water.
No, not at all. You gotta have a little H2O.
All right.
Have you guys watched the recent Rogan that he had with that James Fox? First off, when I saw the name, I'm like, oh my God, Jamie Foxx is on Rogan. I was so excited. I was in the car, you know. But James Fox, did you watch that one?
I did.
Dude,
I heard
how
it.
crazy is that?
I seen about like an hour and a half of it.
So it's about I think it was 2.5 hours.
Yeah. It's good.
So for those who don't know, Rogan had a guy who makes documentaries recently on, James Fox.
UFO documentaries.
UFO expert, some might say.
Yeah, for sure.
So I want to talk about it a little bit because I had some. So he made a new documentary called, what's it called? The Moment of Contact.
Moment of Contact.
I haven't watched it yet, but I do know what it's about, which is really interesting. So if you don't know, this documentary is it's called Moment of Contact, and it's about alien contact that happened in Brazil. Now the city, I think, is called Virginia.
Virginia.
It kind of sounds like Virginia, but Portuguese version.
Yeah.
And supposedly an alien crashed, and a couple beings came out, and this whole town seen it. The whole town. So it's not like one or two or three people in a wild story, but two little childlike beings came out. And I think that's crazy. And so this guy made this documentary about it, which I can't wait to watch. But it's interesting because a guy grabbed one of the beings.
Oh shit!
Right?
That's not scary. Fuck.
And he died. He died shortly after that. So he got some kind of crazy because he grabbed it. Some juice, I guess. Maybe it's blood. Its version of blood bled on him, and it got him extremely sick, which sparked a crazy new idea. I think that's why aliens haven't just straight up came down and said, oh, we're here, because think about it. What killed all the Native Americans? Diseases. We kill each other with our own human diseases. You can't even fathom what an alien disease would be.
Right.
Think about it. So think about this. What if they're doing, because you hear abductions about they're being tested on. What if they're trying to come up with a vaccine?
Shit.
So they don't fucking kill us all.
That's genius.
You know?
Yeah.
That's why they're
possible.
You hear about aliens mixing with humans. They're probably doing it because they got to figure it out, because maybe their shit's washed up, or like their planet's fucked and they made it this way, or they just want to make our planet better. But it's not like they can just come up and say, hey guys, we're here and here's some technologies, because that literal conversation could start the whole trend of everyone getting wiped out.
Shit.
You know?
Yeah, that's genius, because there is a lot of there are abductions, or they say there are abductions, right? And a lot of people say that they've gotten probed. Some people have claimed that they've been I guess, molested in some way.
I think that's the problem. Like, I feel like there's a lot of people that bullshit, right?
Oh,
and,
for sure,
and then
100%.
there's a lot of people that maybe are telling the truth, but any feeling of like it isn't true, I feel like we all go gear towards that. Like, it's not true. Because what if all of a sudden we walked outside and there was a fucking UFO out there?
Yeah.
You'd freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
Even though a part of me wants that to happen.
Yeah.
I want to see
Have you seen anything?
I personally haven't.
No, okay. I think I saw something once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a half memory of kind of seeing something, but I can't quite.
And it's always like that though. When you see all these things, it's like,
but the thing is,
kind of saw this or this blurry picture, or
right?
You know, it's weird.
There's people who've. Do you know what the the lights in Phoenix thing, the lights over Phoenix.
I seen the pictures of it. That's crazy.
So there are people. I mean, there's lots of people who claim they've come outside their house and just seen a UFO. But it's like, think about it. If you maybe you're not the best example, but someone like me, how would I tell people and then them believe me? Like what I see out of you, because you can maybe make like some kind of TikTok and get some kind of virality.
At least throw it out there.
Yeah. So it's like how could an average Joe Blow, without sounding like a complete crazy,
right?
How are you going to be like, yo, I had a conversation with aliens? There's, you know what I'm saying? It's like, how do you even go about it? Yeah. And what's even crazier is, let's say you had footage of this. It's like me, I'm interviewing an alien. Who's going to believe that's even real?
That's exactly right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like a lose-lose. You can't.
Yeah.
I think people would wait for like a White House briefing on it or some shit, even though there has been.
There has been.
Right?
Yeah. And even so, like, we don't believe anything that's coming out of the White House right now. You think we're going to believe?
I know. That's what's so weird. It's such a weird time. Because isn't it, why is it so weird that fucking AI and aliens are coming at the same fucking time, dude? Think about it. That's weird.
That's the argument I made the other day. I think we've already been. AI, we're here. Yeah. I think. Well, what if AI is just that thing that there's an intelligence out there, and it's been birthed on this world now? You know.
What if there's an intelligence, like in our conscious field, we're all in this same place? What if aliens are talking through AI? They don't know how to take over our body. But maybe that same energy can take over AI, and that's what's giving it sentient. I don't know. That's just that was a left field.
Yeah, who knows? I know. Well, there's one thing that I was thinking about was, take for instance, like, as humans, we developed in our environment. You know, they say that what you see is not really what you see. Like there's a matrix behind it. Yeah. What if? Because, like, okay, so you take an ant has developed in its environment, and it doesn't see, like, colors the way we see, or, right? It has, like, different type of working eyes. So what if these aliens are, like, I don't know, their spectrum for understanding is way wider, and where they are, that is above us, they have the ability to see, like, what is it, 4 dimensions, 5th dimensions, whatever it is. But we can't break that because it's like we didn't develop in that environment. You know, we're only...
Or evolved to it. Maybe it's an evolution thing.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is, where they're like so far advanced in their evolutionary stage that, you know, we haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're going to keep getting more advanced if some kind of Earth cataclysmic kind of event doesn't happen.
Right.
I would imagine in 100 years, probably even way less, we're going to have technology that's straight up magic. It's like...
I think we have that already.
I mean,
fucking cell phones.
It's like imagine 1,000 years ago, who would have thought that you could have a computer on your phone?
Right.
Or video of FaceTime someone.
Yeah.
I think back then when we were kids, like I had an Nextel. Like the best thing was being able to chirp back and forth with everyone.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, obviously you get used to it. And now it's not really a surprise to us. But now imagine 1,000 years from now. Like, this will probably be ancient compared to what would it be then.
Before we used to draw pictures of our family. Then we started taking actual photography.
That's crazy.
And then now we fucking see photography on a screen on our phones. Like, what's next? You know, these steps that we take in humanity. Well, you know, and Joe Rogan made a point. He was like, what if in their environment or wherever they're from, they're in a more stable environment where they don't have cataclysms. They don't have fucking meteors rushing their planet.
But I feel like all galaxies are susceptible to the same shit.
But what if they're like a small, like, what if they live on a moon that's protected by many planets and every meteor hits the
planet? Or they have 2 Saturns, because you know how Saturn takes all our asteroids, it sucks it into maybe. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of crazy possibilities. I mean,
but then it goes to is like, okay, what if they do come, right? What if they do fix everything that's going wrong with us? Yeah. Then what? But what if they fix about, okay, well, now nobody dies. Then that's the problem, because now everybody lives longer. Now you know what I mean? Like, it's it's crazy. Maybe they can't. Maybe they know they're so smart that they know they can't come and give us everything.
Right.
Right.
There's probably. I try to think about this. Like, what if we found like a group of monkeys in the jungle? I'm sure because there is pictures of there's some scientists who claim that the monkeys are like in the Stone Age because they're starting to use tools to like hunt and stuff.
Yeah, they're bringing rocks to trees.
Well, the thing is, like, what if the couple people like somehow got into this like clan of monkeys? I don't know what you call a group of monkeys. I don't know what their term is, but what if like
group of monkeys?
What if a person just straight up was trying to teach them a lot of things? Imagine the person who showed the monkey how to spear, right?
Right.
That monkey showed the other monkeys. That guy sped up that evolution.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
There's got to be some of that with us.
Yeah.
There's got to be, because if you're an outside intelligence, maybe there's a way for them to give a small nudge. They know they can't push you.
Right.
Because whatever, but they can give you a fucking nudge in the right direction of like.
Here's this.
Because like the reason, like, I think if you've made it, I've said this before, but I think if you've made it to a certain level of technology, you probably got past some of the shit that we're going through right now. Like, we got to still dominate people and take control and war and fucking greed. And so what if, like, those aliens, like, they're not interested in trying to take our lives or take over our planet? Because I feel like they could have done that already. Like, why would they wait for us to get more and more technologically advanced and have more nukes?
Bro,
they would have did that shit in the 40s before we even had nukes.
No, but if you think of society or you think of our planet as like we're cooking and baking and we're not done cooking, and we're not done yet.
What percentage are we?
I have no idea.
I think we're 30. I think
or
we're
the
like
galaxy's
30%.
so big, there's so many worlds that they just passed us up and said, you know what, these guys aren't really shit.
They're not
Let's
ready.
go to the
They're not
next
ready
one.
yet.
They're not ready.
But
Let's go to the next one.
But we're still, we would definitely have to be interested. Like, interesting, I should say. Like, there's no way someone's just doing a flyby. Maybe some cultures are checking in on us like, oh, no.
Do you think there's just one type of alien out there?
No, hell no.
It can't be, right?
Can't be.
And that's the crazy part, because, like, all right, if we just said it, right, there's got to be more. The fact that there's even one is, like, and we really saw it, it's, like, it's crazy. But then look at it this way.
Yeah.
All right, like, us, right? We see, like you said, ants, there's, like, other living creatures, there's bugs, there's little small creatures, right?
Yeah, right.
And we pass by them every day and we don't notice them, right? And maybe we do notice them, but we see them at whatever. We're not trying to communicate with them. We don't really care. We don't care to. Maybe some people do, right?
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, maybe they're just passing this up because there's so many. And I'm sure they've came. You're going to tell me this whole lifetime, and even before us and even after, someone that, especially when you see that there's galaxies and galaxies and planets, there's not someone out there that's more advanced than us, that we just use an iPhone. Like that I'm sure the government has, this crazy technology that we don't know, right? But
they have to.
But
for sure they do.
Man, like,
for sure they do.
there's
We
gotta
know
be
they
something
do.
out there,
But the question is where they get it from.
Yeah.
Right? So in that documentary, like I said, I haven't watched it, but I know some of the talking points. They say that fucking basically the Americans came in and took over.
Right.
And they were like, they took over, and then the case went cold.
Yeah, so basically there was a couple people that came across these aliens, right? And when they did that, there was definitely doctors who did, like, they took the alien and they put it in a car, they drove it to a hospital. In the hospital, many doctors looked at these beings, right? I don't know if they worked on them. Did he say they worked on them?
They x-rayed them. And it's the stench. Talk about the stench.
Oh, yeah. So supposedly the smell was so bad that they had to demolish the hospital.
Like, what if they come from a planet where sulfur is their oxygen? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They don't have to follow our laws of, like, shit.
Right, exactly.
Or maybe they do. Maybe the building blocks of life
has
to fall in a certain type of order. Maybe they don't look exactly like us.
Do you think our table, what is it, the element table?
Yeah, table of elements.
Yeah, so do you think that that's all of them?
No,
we just haven't discovered everything yet.
So
if I had to guess.
Well, didn't they say that in Rogan, where it's like they had some type of element that was helping
115,
the propulsions of how these crafts move?
Right.
Like, no, there's no fucking way. You're gonna tell me in all these planets that we apparently can't get to, don't have some type of rock, what if there's infinity of elements? You know what I mean? Like, who says there's only fucking 100 or 80 or 70? That's just what we know, right?
It might be just like our corridor or our small section of the galaxy. This is what it contains, but outside of that, there might be some we've never even.
And again, those are the elements that they're telling us.
Yeah.
What if there is more? And they're just not telling us. Why tell us? Because
exactly.
They have crazy.
They have that particle collider.
Why tell us anything?
Yeah.
Exactly. Why?
Yeah.
So I think somebody Rogan talked about that. And I think that guy James said that people were leaking it from the military.
Yeah.
So
which is gonna happen more and more.
It has to.
Yeah.
There's no way, dude. Are you telling me if us three were pilots or were those people who
For sure, I would leak it.
Yeah, dude. There's no way I'm not talking about it.
Sure.
There's no way that I find out some shit. Well, that's why I haven't been asked to be a part of the Pentagon, because they fucking know as soon as this fucking guy finds out some shit,
you're gonna come right on the podcast and you're gonna bring it up.
But the thing is, like I said, it's so hard for people to believe anything unless you talk to the motherfucking alien. You're gonna never believe that somebody talked to an alien,
right?
You know, no matter what they say.
Yeah.
And the way fucking AI's going with computer generated shit, they can probably make some realistic looking ass video of some contact.
That too.
You know, it's like you just can't believe nothing.
Maybe the AI is gonna get to a point where it's gonna decipher every type of like it'll take the table of elements and it'll decipher like what other elements can be made from them, and then give us something. It'll be like a domino effect for like everything else that might be out there.
No, but I think there's something to that, dude. I think the bacteria thing, there's got to be something there, because like I said, you go to fucking Africa in certain places, you get fucked up by the different bacteria just there, and it's their own
malaria.
Planet. So you'd have to imagine if another being came from another planet. Like they talked about the smells. Yeah, that makes sense. They're not gonna smell like fucking Irish Spring soap.
It'd be nice if they did, though. You know what I'm saying?
Like, they probably can't just come down and talk to us because that. I'm telling you, that makes the most amount of sense.
But also, they might not even speak English.
But they always talk about telepath. They figure out some kind of way.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not gonna. It's like if you go somewhere, right? It's like, look at the military, right? If you're gonna go invade another country, they're gonna study the country. They're gonna send maybe spies. They're gonna before they even decide to go and really check this. They're not just gonna show up and be like, well, we don't know shit either. Right. We're just trying to say what's up. Like, no. And especially if you have that technology, right? You're gonna come. You're gonna come prepared, or you're gonna be here already, or by the time we find out you're here, you've been here 100 times.
Do you think they have malicious intent?
Nah, no way.
Why not?
Because they could have taken us already.
But what if we're not ready?
Why would we?
What if they're not ready? What if there's only a few thousand of them?
But it seems to me if you got here, you could do.
Well,
what about? Okay, have you heard about any of the?
What if they're only a couple thousand years ahead? Like, they're not that ahead. Like a
couple thousand?
That's a lot.
I'm saying,
that's a lot.
Hold on. I'm saying, like, well, okay, maybe that was a lot, right? But I'm saying, like, what we tend to think, like, aliens, they come here, they're like,
true.
They're like 1,000 and we're like 10, right? On technology and everything.
Right.
What if
they're just
what if they're just slightly got ahead of us on being able to go to another planet or go to another galaxy?
Agreed.
And they're just like, okay, well, then they're here, they're there. Maybe we could take them over. Do we want to take them over? Or maybe they're, like you said, maybe they're not ready for that type of takeover. You know
interesting.
What I mean?
Yeah, you're right, because like, we send drones to...
press the thing.
No, we send drones to Mars and to the moon, so it make the most amount of sense that they're physically not coming here, because we can't assume they breathe oxygen.
No. Right.
Although
they did say,
why do you have to breathe?
Oh, true.
That's our anatomy, but what about theirs?
Yeah.
I mean,
so they did say they did crash, right?
Yeah.
And then they were walking around, and I think it took something like, was it 20 or 8 days or 25 days?
I don't know.
But they crashed at the one area, and they had to cross a river, and when they got to like the town, it was like many days after the crash.
Shit.
And they actually said that there was another like ship, like actually searching out like the crash.
Oh yeah.
Well,
right?
That goes to show that they can make mistakes like we can, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we gonna not? What if it's future us?
Ooh.
What if
I like that?
Because what if AI comes up with time travel?
But why wouldn't it?
Right. So we're at the precipice. That's why like a lot of it's coming at the same time.
Yeah.
Not that 100%. It doesn't all 100% line up. But what if it is a version of us in the future that knows they can come back, and the way they're doing things doesn't affect time. You know how the old trope of movies is like you kill a butterfly, you might change the president, whatever.
Back to the Future?
Exactly. Like what if they know they can just do the visual stuff as long as it's nothing like major, and then they can get away with
what if it just doesn't fuck anything up, right?
Right.
You don't really know. I mean,
right.
And like you said, it can go 1,000 different ways, but when will we ever really understand or know?
The real question is, how is the military going to use this against us? Because that's how they're going to think. They're not buddy with us. You know what I'm saying? They're not just like, hey, let's just be fucking transparent and full clear now. There has to be a backdoor motive.
Well, the problem is that and I'm not saying that they're not going in any bad intention, but I'm it's like there's a lot of fucking stupid people, man. I hate to say it, like they give out that information, or they say something. People are gonna go nuts. People are gonna go crazy.
You think that?
Hell yeah, they go nuts for dumb shit. Like,
yeah, bro.
I know that's for Black Friday.
Exactly.
You tell me like.
You ain't lying about
that. You have aliens out there. They're gonna give two shits about going to work.
Nah, but
like, hey, there's aliens here now. Like, what? Like,
but
I'm not going to work.
What future?
That bill's still coming at the end of the month.
Is it?
Yeah, but that bill's not getting paid, though.
You don't think Nightcore is gonna hit you up for fucking money? They don't give a fuck if aliens are here.
If aliens are fucking here, I'm burning wood. I'm starting to burn shit.
Do you think society would just collapse?
I think so.
Why? Why do you think that?
Because it'll one of the ideas is just like right now, we could be talking about any subject. There's going to be a group of people that's going to make that subject negative, right? And it's going to go out into the world, even right now, right? For any little thing.
Yeah.
So imagine it's for sure that we see aliens are fucking here. You're not going to tell me that you're not going to go on the fucking internet and see a bunch of people putting that the world's going to end.
Yeah.
They Y2K, the world was going to end in the 2000s.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, now imagine seeing there's actually
every category.
I would more believe it now that there's fucking aliens out there saying we're fucked.
Yeah.
Like, and be like, okay, yeah, it is going to end then
right.
Back then. I mean, that's my opinion.
Like, there's crazy people in every category, right? Like, you have extremists in everything.
Yeah.
You have the people who go out for Black Friday, and you have the people that go out for Black Friday and bring brass knuckles, Yes, so
to save $35 on a TV.
Yeah, exactly. Or to get a TV for $100.
Hey man, I did that once. I'll never do that shit.
Did you bring brass knuckles to Walmart?
I should have, because I didn't get anything. I went for one specific thing. I didn't come out with nothing.
Oh, dude.
I went for one time.
Sleep.
Go finish your thing.
Yeah, I would never do it. No, I'm just saying, it's like there's crazy people in every. And who can't you trust? Like, whatever the opposite of whatever you are, you're obviously not going to be trust that. So, for instance, like religious people, can you really trust them?
What I was going to say is, what if religious people start trying to say that aliens is the second Messiah? What if they try to bring some tie into that?
Well, you can easily.
Right.
You can easily tie that into, because he said, I'm not of this world. He said, I will come back. He said, when I come back, I'm going to take my people with.
See, what I'm afraid of is there's a conspiracy. I forgot the name of it, but we might have talked about it before, but they're supposedly going to fake an alien attack to get a one world government.
Blue Beam?
Blue Beam, there you go.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was blue chip or blue beam, but yeah.
I like blue chip.
Yeah, right. But that's the thing. It's like, I don't know. I hate to want to believe that our country is definitely corrupt. It might be the most corrupt in the entire world.
No, I think they all, like, these superior people are all fucking
the fact that
corrupted.
We think that we're not corrupt is why we're the most corrupt.
Yeah.
I think that's what defies it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be going on everywhere.
It goes on everywhere for sure, but we think, like, my mom would like to think, our parents would like to think that there's no way our government could lie to us on a mass scale like that.
No, fuck that.
Well, they don't think that.
I think they just weren't as able to be informed as easily as we are now.
No,
right?
they took whatever they heard on the TV and news as
because
gospel.
Well, because imagine back then. I mean,
Well, it was at one point.
It was.
yeah,
Well,
because you couldn't get it.
no, hold on. Do you know that to be true?
I don't.
Right.
I don't know that.
Right.
But what I do know is that journalists before they would take pride in a lot more of the stuff that they would say, and now a lot of times you ask them questions and they just have talking points where they don't dig in any deeper, and they get confused. And there's other people like Russell Brand who will come on and will tear them apart
He
because
kills it, dude.
he does, man.
He kills it.
He does.
How much of it is his accent?
50.
15? 50? I was going to say 20, 15, 20.
I mean,
I think
he
so.
speaks to the
Yeah,
he speaks
yeah.
correct, but just the way
He
he,
can
says
fucking
it,
ramble
just the
and
way he
ramble
says
and
it,
ramble and
and it
ramble.
makes you
Oh
think
Oh
like,
my
oh,
God,
dude.
God damn, I do want to see his dick. Wait, what?
Excuse me? Excuse me? Oh, you gotta do the thing.
Oh, we need to know. We need a DJ screen. You know what the DJ
I could do. I'll put it in there.
Oh, that'd be sick. But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't think that I don't think if an alien race came here to try to free us and say, "Hey, we'll give you infinite power. We'll give you all," I think our government would try to kill them.
Well, James Fox said that a message they asked one of the doctors asked him, why are you here? And the alien telepathically told him,
Right.
you will never know how special you are as a human
Right.
being, which is crazy.
And that made me.
If that's true.
I'm very glad you brought that up because
Yeah.
it made me think about it. Because that's what makes me think we're the aliens. Came here. We probably found this planet tens of thousands of years ago. We came here from a different planet. Then we just figured out our way. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that evolution makes sense to me because why is there still monkeys? If we came from monkeys, why is there still monkeys? Are we just a defect off one monkey that
We're a
somehow
different kind of monkey.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, because we have birds, and we have like really like dumb birds, like I don't know, a chicken, and then we have crows, right? And they're like at different like intelligent levels.
Right, crows are smart.
It's smart as fuck. But and then so like monkeys. There's some monkeys like bonobos, right? They live a different type of society where it's like a more peaceful society. They sleep on the ground, and you know they're like they have like a matriarchy, right? And they're more loving. Like their children cannot do any wrong. Where like you take chimpanzees that look a lot like them, they're vicious, murderous. Demons, you know, they're like monkey demons. And so, but yeah, so they look exactly the same, but they live a whole different lifestyle. So it's like that for birds, and I think, you know, as
All animals have to evolve, right?
yeah, oh yeah, sure,
Right?
sure.
So does that mean a fucking monkey could evolve, or I guess it's like a crow evolved to start using like real language?
Oh my God, what if monkeys discover fire?
That's what I'm saying. What if one person
fucked?
What if one person made it their life thing to teach monkeys how to be more destructive, you know, like, or do more crazy shit?
I'm sure that motherfucker's out there. Don't give anybody ideas.
Like a Joe Exotic
Hey,
of...
we're going to timestamp this and erase it just because that fuck is out there.
Hey,
You know, like,
that's crazy.
I don't know. I'm trying to think. Could fish ever evolve to a point where some of them have legs? And then,
Oh yeah, some fish do have legs.
yes, it could.
What
But
is that? Oh,
my
that's in there. Hey, dude.
did it kill the life? Oh no. Anyways, but it doesn't matter.
Honestly, think about fish in the ocean. Like, if you're a fish that was just born a few weeks ago, right? And you're just starting to see the world through your fish eyes, and somebody talks about there are fucking hooks out there that will snatch you out of the fucking fish sky, you know?
Do you think they warn each other about it?
I think I'm saying, like, what if they have the same ideas but they're underwater? We're like, oh, there's aliens above us. There's a different dimension that they can enter. They just fall in.
We are the aliens to fish.
We are the aliens to fish.
And
What if above us there's that?
there has to be.
Oh, shit.
There has to
Right?
be. There's patterns. That's what the whole sacred geometry is. There's patterns all throughout life.
Yeah.
Just everywhere.
Right.
And we could be in a pattern easily.
Right.
Our galaxy is a pattern. You know, it's like, it's...
Yeah,
I don't
that's
doubt
got to
that.
be what the Matrix is.
Right.
And so, what if they exist in the Matrix, like the Matrix, and they can see everything as numbers, ones and zeros?
Right. Like that guy with all that screens. Like, what if like the whole theory of there's unlimited us having this conversation. That's how many planets. Right. What if there's planets that are just slightly different though, like where gravity's not much of a thing. It's our same lives, and now we can jump 400 feet in the air if we want.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
You know what I'm saying? It's like there's probably versions of that.
Sure.
You know.
Sure. Absolutely. Because I mean, even in the water, there's different like depths, and as you go deeper into the water, the animals change. Some of them they're lighted. Some of them are longer. We have like octopus that are like 16 feet long.
Crazy, right? Dude. You know, octopus could change their colors and texture.
Yeah. Dude,
I watched this video of this fisherman was this diver was on top of this octopus, and the octopus kind of like scurrying away a little bit, and it goes up on this quarry. It hits this quarry and just fucking 100% blends in. Yeah, that's what, dude. That's they're aliens.
If that exists in the water, why can't something like that exist above us? Turns into a fucking cloud.
Did you guys see about the megalodon shark?
Mm-mm.
So obviously there's a thing called the megalodon, right?
Yeah.
Is it a dinosaur version of a shark?
Yeah, massive, and it's alive. It's and so one of the things was, and I saw it on TikTok, it was they took a picture of basically like a picture from a satellite down to the earth by these islands, and they were measuring something of like, it looked like some type of bacteria or like kind of fish type of thing that was in the ocean, right? But in that picture, they were looking for that and they found it.
Yeah.
But to the right, like, they went closer and closer, and it looked what was the shape of a shark in the water. You know how you see like the shadow of in the water.
Yeah.
And so they compared it to the height of basically where the camera angle was. Obviously, you zoom in from that zoom down. They compared it to like basically zooming down like on a bus, like a kid's bus. Yeah, like so it was like a fucking 40-foot bus, and the bus was like half of the shark.
What?
Like holy shit! But they had seen something like that, I guess, on the other. I don't want to say the other side of the world, but like on the other side of like stupid far.
Yeah. Like currently, this is recent.
This currently.
Okay.
And they're saying like, how can they get from that point to over here? Obviously, they're going through the fucking ocean, but seeing as how big they are, how fast they can kind of run. Right. But it's all sightings, you know what I mean? I mean, you gotta check it out. It was pretty interesting.
Have you ever seen like the documentaries of whales and they have like giant shark bites?
That's
their
crazy.
Body,
yeah.
Like, giant chunks removed. I wonder if like they got bit when they were little and then they grew.
Nah, that's what killed them.
Giant.
I just saw a video like a couple hours ago of this guy throwing a football and this little whale was bringing it back. No bullshit.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it was. I don't think it was it wasn't a dolphin. I'm pretty sure it was a small. It was a small whale. It was pretty interesting.
Like beluga whales.
Dude, they're smart. We don't. I don't know. They could be. What if fish, or maybe not fish, but maybe like whales, because apparently we know that there's some level of smart. What if they have a whole thing that we just have no idea of, like communication? Well, I guess we know that they do communicate with each other via the sonar or that sound.
Sure.
And they have different pitches mean different things. Like we've even discovered that. So they're definitely having conversation at some level. But we don't know. They could be. I don't know. It's like how school of fish all know to migrate. There's got to be some kind of
and
there's some conscious we don't understand.
They don't bump into each other. They just follow like they know where to go, where to stay away from, and there's definitely communication, right? It's like the oldest thing. It's like probably the first thing we.
Do you think we ever discover it? Like there'll be some kind of like box, like because I've seen it in movies and shows where like they'll bring a box and a dog barks into it and it would translate what it means.
Oh, right.
It's fake, obviously, but like I wonder if there's ever going to be some kind of like real version of that. What
I do feel is that AI is going to be the thing that's going to be able to make those transactions occur.
I agree. I agree.
Because they're gonna end up reading all of the different. Is it just? What is it? Take all the intel of the animal, everything it's doing, calculated, and be like, Because you know how we have like gamma rays, and they take the gamma rays and they turn the rays into light so that we're able to see it in a picture.
Sure.
Why couldn't they do that with like
Other
behavior for dolphins and sea lion and even like
because we don't know
fish?
exactly what they're saying.
Can you imagine if they actually can? If we at some
They'd be somebody be lying. Some guy, some doctors like, or some genius like, oh, I know what they're saying, and he makes the whole dictionary up for this thing, and it's just all his bullshit. He's like 100%.
There was that one doctor, John Lilly.
That would be awesome.
He used to get high, and then he would study dolphins, and he was trying to decipher their language.
Oh shit!
Yeah, but one of his doctors would masturbate supposedly the dolphins because they were hard.
Right.
Yeah, so there was all that situation that occurred. Yeah, it's crazy. But so there was that documentary, which is what is it? The Virginia documentary.
Oh,
what's the name of it again?
Moment of Contact.
There's Moment of Contact.
I really want to watch that. Okay, but you said you had another one.
Yeah, so recently I saw this documentary. And it was really cool. It's called Tear in the Sky. Tear, like a rip, an opening into the sky.
Let me guess. Hold on. Before, okay. So far, I've never told you, but let me just guess.
Okay.
Is it a tear like in a dimension version?
C.
Okay, hit me with it, baby. Hit me with it.
All right. So basically, the documentary is by a lady. Her name is Caroline Corey.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. So
I was gonna correct you for real, and I didn't even know who you're talking about.
Yeah. So anyway, so she made this documentary, and what she did was
she ruined everything. But sorry, go ahead.
So what she did is she basically gets a bunch of information from everybody who has seen. Like she took the Nimitz people. She took some people who were on a ship. I forget the name of the ship. But anyways. So what she did was she got these people together, and they got all these different type of devices, and they coordinated where they triangulated in the California area, West Coast. They were in Laguna Beach, they were at Catalina Island, and then they were in Long Beach. And they put their devices, different devices, one that would read like sounds, another would transfer light, and then they had like optic stuff, right? And so what they did is they found that they saw the lights right away. They recorded something like 100 hours, and within those 100 hours, they had so much information. So imagine, this is a person who is a civilian with the most sophisticated civilian instruments that you could get your hands on, and they have hundreds of hours of stuff that they saw in the sky. So, and what was interesting is one of the things that they found when they were recording, there was a camera that would take recordings frame by frame. So one of the guys who was on the ship, who many years ago he was recorded, he was one of the guys who was on the ship where Commander Fravor, he had recorded the Tic Tacs. And so what he said is he could see them. He was reading the radar, and he could see them dropping out of the sky, just dropping out of the sky.
There's got to be something,
dude. So this camera that was recording frame by frame, at one moment when they're looking up there, they see a cloud opens up, and behind the cloud, there's a darker version of the sky. And within that darker version of the sky, there's many dots of light. And from there, they see that it closes, but you could see those dots of lights, and they believe that that's where they were dropping out of the sky from. Not shooting from outer space, but opening some type of wormhole.
Yeah. Dude, there's gotta... I think, like I said before, I probably said it 100 times, I think our puny little brains can't even fathom, like, what's really fucking up. And if there's... Yeah, dude. I don't know. That's what I was going to ask you earlier. Is like, do you think that, I don't know, do you think that, is it always just going to be a mystery in our lifetime? Or do you think we're getting set up for some kind of, I don't know. I don't know if it's an AI thing or an alien thing. Something's going to happen where I feel like it's going to rock civilization, and we're going to be a whole different thing.
Sure, we can never be the same, because we went from a society that just read stuff in books going back 5,000 years, right, to like the Bhagavad Gita, where they had the Vimanas fighting each other in the sky. We went from like a society that had drawings of it to now actually where people actively denied it, and now people are actively like, okay, well, there's more proof mounting. Now you got to prove that this proof is not real.
Just imagine the proof that our government has. They gotta have high resolute, like they probably got the fact that that's part of some people's disbelief. Yeah, it's like, how come everything's grainy footage? Motherfucker, you don't think the thing that they're showing on TV in the news, that's a watered down version of whatever was actually probably caught.
Yeah, could be. Have you ever tried to take a picture of a 747 in the sky and try to get a clear look of it when you zoom into it?
Right.
Listen, bitch.
In your hand, you don't think you're excited as fuck while you're taking that picture as well?
Yeah. I hate that fucking argument.
Yeah.
I hate that argument. I would show like friends like shit. Oh, check out this bird, and they'd be like, "It's what bird?"
Right, and they'd be like, "Well, where's the evidence?" I'm like, dude, there's probably tens of thousands of people who have firsthand evidence or witnessed it. Maybe they don't have any tangible evidence, but like if you're in a farmer doing work in the fucking fields and this thing pops up on you, how many people are ready to see a UFO? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're not ready for it. It happens, and chances are it happens fucking quick. There's been a few cases where something's hovering for maybe tens of minutes. And that gives you enough time to like, oh, well, fuck, I'm going to go run inside, grab my Polaroid or whatever, and it's like, yeah, that's why there's, I don't know. And then think about this. Okay, think about you. You were in the backyard, you caught a crazy UFO. You're like, I'm putting this on YouTube. You don't think there's somebody monitoring all that? That as soon as they're like, oh, wait, this is getting some traction, because they'll know after a couple thousand people see it. Sure. Once it starts getting the algorithm of like, oh, this is trending. Yeah. Somebody's gonna nip that in the fucking butt. That's why there's no. And then the shit that they like, they let some things off because it's like, yeah, there's a couple lights in the sky. That's fucking whatever.
You know what's the beautiful thing is that the internet now is starting to become more free and more free, right? Like we have all these new apps, all these new social media.
Is it free though? I feel like
it's starting to become. I think.
You think
I
so?
think they're starting to get
decentralized kind of thing.
Yeah, all them. Like where they're not controlled by like a government entity, because I feel like Facebook obviously was developed by the government. I feel like Twitter, right, was taken from the CIA, and they had an FBI office in their offices building. Really? Yeah, they fired a bunch of FBI agents left and right. Like, I think that all these things are like propaganda control for the government. They fed us all these beliefs before, right? And now they don't serve the purpose anymore. They're trying to take us away from what once worked for them, and that's no longer working. So they're trying to steer us to something else, right? And I think as long as they keep us fighting over stupid shit, right, we don't see the exact shit that's going on right in front of our faces.
Yeah, that's always the game. That's always the playbook. It's like, let them fight over trans rights and gay rights and all that little shit while we just fucking take more of their freedom. And they don't realize it. And we just grow our fucking government. I don't know. Yeah, I'm hoping. I don't know. I don't know how that changes. It seems like that whole government train, this fucking system that just gets bigger and bigger. How does it stop?
Well, that's how I feel the decentralized internet that's starting to bloom right now. It's in the early stages. That's what's going to keep them from doing their dirt, because so you know how like a lot of these fucking newscasters, they'll come out and they'll say something, and then I don't know, what is it, Truth Social or all these other new apps that are out, these new social media elements, they'll be like, they'll take that video and then in the comments they'll be like, take a look at this, here's this, look at when she said that. And now like you can't hide from like what you said before, where before it was like the news would just skip to the next thing, and everything just falls by the wayside. We don't no longer remember what happened. But now we're keeping receipts, and we have all these, like I said, Truth Social, Rumble. Where
do you think those?
They're entities that they're gonna keep the government from lying to us.
Well, from 100% information being blocked, but I don't, dude. Rumble's not going to get YouTube numbers.
You don't know that. That's right now.
That's true.
Remember when Amazon was failing? Remember when Amazon
yeah, but there's a
used
lot
to
of
sell
costs.
books?
You know, dude, there's a lot of costs that come with. You can't just be a company to let people upload videos. That costs you a lot of money.
Sure.
YouTube, nobody's got that kind of. No other company could actually do what YouTube does.
Elon has it, and he just took over Twitter. And you don't think he's going to continue?
What do you think? Well, okay, let's pontificate
Okay.
on what his next moves are.
I don't know. He's like a super genius, right? But I think he took Twitter, right, and he made it somewhat more of a.
I've never been on it.
No.
Twitter, plain and simple.
I do a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for like news and shit.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying it's anything. I'm like at the time, this is just one more thing I'm not gonna have to fucking learn.
Yeah.
But I guess there is a lot of, you can get a lot of good shit on there. Maybe I should learn it, but I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. No, I think so. He bought Twitter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he made it a little fairer.
Right.
Okay. So
More free of speech.
I don't doubt that he's not done. You're right. He's probably. I mean, why
I don't
would he
think
be?
he is.
No, why would he?
So he's super rich. He's a super genius. Do you think he hangs out with idiots? Do you think he hangs out with poor people? I think he's just gonna start a trend that's gonna.
Well, I mean, I feel like
Would you want to hang out with poor people if you're?
Fuck no. Fuck no.
anybody around
no.
them is considered poor people to him, right?
I'm
Anybody
like,
around them.
Are you eating spaghetti out of a can? Fuck out of here. You know?
That's funny, actually. The place I was working at the other day, I'm pretty sure somebody made SpaghettiOs.
Do you spaghetti out of a can?
Hey man, spaghetti is good, bro.
Out of
Hard
a can?
times, man. I'm like, those were hard times.
You
right?
got you got that Mr. and Mrs. Organized money. Quit playing.
yeah.
Quit playing. Okay.
Yeah. So hey, so when you make
Tuesdays
your millions, buy one of these fucking buy TikTok.
All right.
Yeah, right.
Going for it.
What do you think that company's
Hey, man,
worth?
Dream big.
It's in the billions.
What are they gonna
What
do?
is it worth?
What are they?
It's in
What?
the
Okay,
billions.
when you hear
Well,
about
it's-
this, when you hear about this collection of data, right? That's the whole problem. The whole collection. What is it exactly you think they're gonna do with it? Just advertise to you better? Is that like the whole purpose? Is to somehow get money out of you?
Well, it's like so. It's everybody who's on social media. They're trying to gain power. How do you gain power? By having people listen to you. If people listen to you and they do what you want them to do, that's some sort of power. So if the Chinese government is slowly gaining,
Hearing you and listening to you are two different things.
what does that mean?
Because they have way of saying things. That doesn't mean you're listening and taking it. You could hear it. You know what I'm saying? It's like just because some agenda's being pushed doesn't mean everyone's gonna fall in line. They
Well,
can
maybe
hear
not
it.
everyone, but what if it was like 25%? That's still a group of people
Yeah,
that are
true.
doing something. You know?
Well, yeah, there's the way people break down is like, you know, there's there's a number that's always going to follow like mainstream. There's always a number. There's always a number that's going to be the people who like, they're like, fuck that. I don't believe anything the government says. You know, then there's always a set of crazy people. You know what I mean? Like there's the way society breaks down is in portions, is what I'm saying. But I think China, as they get all our information, at some point that power, they're gonna start to shift culture.
Okay.
I think they already have.
Well, because you don't change culture overnight, although you can, and it has, right? But you make small little incremental changes over a long period of time, and before you know it, we're all talking Chinese, and everything you buy says China on it. Remember that?
Well, first off, it already does.
Yeah.
Second, I'm gonna start learning Mandarin. It's inevitable.
It's supposed to be really, really difficult.
I'm sure, and yeah.
You can't learn Spanish. You're trying to learn Mandarin.
No. Spanish for sure first. I'm gonna get that Rosetta Stone 100%.
No, but you understand a lot of it. I feel like you've been.
Yeah, he does.
He's been around.
No, yeah, I'll get it, and I know I could practice it pretty easily. Obviously, with all you fools. Yeah. So actually, yeah. I have to actually find a really good app. I think Rosetta Stone.
Speaky.
Is that what it is? Oh yeah.
Use Speaky. So you could teach somebody who wants to learn Spanish English, and they'll teach you Spanish. You go to speaky.com.
Oh, really?
Is it like a Zoom kind of thing?
It is a Zoom thing, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you just trade the language. You're like, hey,
I could do it if it's a chick.
So yeah, you could find like this beautiful girl,
100%.
right?
Green card? Como se dice green card?
And she'll be like, papeles.
Hey,
This guy's like, sí, camarín.
That's what you'll say.
That has always been a 100%.
Yeah. Yeah, Speaky. I actually heard a lot of people meet, like, there's this, I think he's from Argentina. He met a girl from, like, some part of Russia. He taught her Spanish, and she taught him Russian. Wow. And now they're about to get married.
I would, dude, I'm pretty sure you can order a bride from Russia. There's mail order brides.
Do you want a bride from Russia, though? I've heard they like, there's criminal ladies who come over who push their groom over the Grand Canyon. That's happened.
Yeah, but I could see that. But what if you're like an actual catch?
I mean, yeah.
You know,
sure. What's a catch?
You know, like they're like, oh wait, this guy's actually not. You know, it's not some fat. I'm not some fat loser.
So you're saying you're a catch?
You know, I think so there's
he's like, so what if they were talking to me?
All I'm saying, there's receivers out there. I'm a goddamn catch.
There you go, man. My boy Dino, he's single, man. Let him know.
So go on Speaky. Find somebody on there. That would be dope.
That's pretty. I've never heard of that. That's pretty. I mean, that's smart.
Speaky is really close to Speak Easy.
Yes. Well,
sounds like a bar.
I think that's what they tried to do, right?
I mean, that's smart.
I think that's how you spell it.
I actually drove by your. What's the latest on the anything? Any updates on the?
Yeah, man. We are officially. We have officially started the plans for the place, which is crazy.
So you actually like lock down like architectural stuff?
Yeah. So we got an architect already. Shout out to Jordan,
Michael. We got into the game.
We got our designer. Shout out Ada, and the idea is we're good to go next week, and we just locked down the architect for the kitchen. So basically, like, it's the first time that we've always worked in kitchens, right? My brother and I, and it's our whole lives. But we've never constructed a kitchen from scratch. You know, like usually like the restaurants that my parents got into, it's been like that. It used to be an old place and it had like a kitchen already kind of there, whatever the case is. But now it's like getting into this, it's literally just the four walls where we're going in there with now like any ideas possible, right? Exciting, it's fucking crazy. Dude. I'm telling you, man, sometimes we walk in there, man, me and Fernando walk in there, my brother, and we're just like, holy shit. Like, we're in this. We're ready. I mean, it's exciting. Obviously, it's nerve wracking. The unknown is nervous, and that's a part of the cool thing. Like,
but you're not starting from zero.
No. Well, yeah, it's not like I was a mechanic trying to start all of a sudden. I'm trying to get into like a restaurant business. No, obviously we've been in it our whole lives, but it's crazy. Like it's been a long time coming. It's like a dream come true right now. Like, it's surreal, but it's gonna be a badass place, man.
I'm so pumped. I'm definitely gonna have my own bar stool.
Yeah.
And I will be a guest appearance bartender.
Yeah.
I can't lock it in because I work a lot of weekends for the company. So it's like I can't commit.
This is a place that all week is going to be a good day. So
I know.
And so I'm saying, any given day you can come in. That's not a problem.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. You know, for us, this place is like really,
and it's walking distance,
really into detail. You know, like from the glassware to the plates.
All the painting's gonna be on point, 100%.
Are you like, as far as like getting ideas? What are you doing? Are you like, I don't know, clipping stuff from the internet, being like, I kind of
Pinterest,
kind of want that.
Pinterest.
It's crazy how like we set up for this idea, like for this opportunity, like years ago without even knowing. Like my brother and I created Ofrenda food truck with always the like idea back that the idea was to open up a brick and mortar. Yeah. So anytime we went to any kind of restaurant, to any kind of place, me and my brother, like not even knowing, we'd always like make that kind of conversation. Like, hey man, that's pretty cool, right? If we ever had something, we'd do that, and like, you want to take a picture of it, or keep a little mental note. And then after we started getting into kind of like, man, we're maybe a couple years away from it. Like we really, hey, let's start getting those ideas together and getting those ideas. And it's crazy that now, like me and that guy sit down and we're just like exploring, and like the ideas are almost endless. And that's why. But you also need a designer. You need someone in that
Right.
field to be like, okay, well, this is my idea. You're here to help me create that, you know,
Right.
and that's what she does, and she's awesome. And
You
and
tell
it's
her the
crazy.
vibe, and she
Hell yeah, and
executes
she
it.
gets it. She gets it, man. She's a Latina, like she gets our vibe. She gets like what we're trying to do with this place, and this is gonna be badass. It's gonna be awesome. And I can't wait to announce it and really tell everybody, and just it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel like a lot of people. I'm not trying to knock me and Fernando, but I don't think a lot of people expect or have a big expectation of what's gonna happen in this place, and I kind of love it because it's like. More so, do I think people are gonna say like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
Like when they see this place, you know,
It drives you
they know
for-
we work, they know we've been doing this for a minute, they know we've been in that restaurant business, right? But like, I think this is just taking it to the whole from working out of a van to having your own place is two different monsters, you know.
Yeah.
So we're excited to
Nothing
take that
can
risk.
stop us from all the way up.
Yeah, hell yeah, man! I'm excited. I'm motivated. I don't know, man.
That's awesome.
It's crazy. It's like a dream come true, and it hasn't even happened yet, you know.
Yeah.
We're halfway
Nah,
there.
but the
We're
thing
halfway
is,
there.
the whole thing is the process. You ever talk to the rich people? It's all about the process. It's like, oh, that's actually the thing.
That's
It's
a
like
Kobe
once you-
Bryant line right there.
Is that it?
Yeah, he
Rest
said
in
it once.
peace.
He said it.
I know, right? Nah, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, there's conspiracies behind his shit. I don't know if there's any
No,
validity
let's
to
not
it.
talk about that.
I'm just saying.
Rest in peace, Kobe, man. That was a sad day, bro.
Yeah, right.
That
You know, it was a sad.
unbelievable.
You know, it was a weird, sad day. We know it was a more sad day, and I don't even know why, but it hit me in a weird way. Was Nipsey Hussle dying? For some reason, and dude, I didn't even fuck with him like that. And I don't know what it was because I just know of his like shit peripherally. He came from the hood. I watched a lot of his like clips of him. Like he said some real shit. Like he was a smart dude.
Yeah.
And for some reason, when he died out, it hit me in a fucking. I remember being like, "Why do I even care? I barely have any of his music in my playlist."
Yeah.
But it still hit weird. It was just a weird thing, and it didn't hit.
Sentimental.
Yeah, I don't know. It's because I just felt like, oh my god, that was actually a genuine good one. You know, it was kind of sad. Yeah.
Yeah, all the good ones go, man, fast. I heard something that like really impacted me, and it might help a lot of people too. It's like, so I thought about it when my dad passed. It was like, you know, you always think, you're like, damn, why do all the good ones always go first? You know, go young. You know what I mean? Like all like the super creators, you know, and they just die early. And then so my daughter told me something that was like fucking impactful that she saw on the internet somewhere, because you know the internet never loses.
Never.
No.
Undefeated.
And so she was like, Dad, I saw this thing and it said, if you were walking through a field of flowers, which ones would you pick? Wouldn't you pick the most beautiful flowers? And I was like, damn, that's deep as fuck.
That is deep as fuck.
It's deep as fuck.
Damn.
So anyways,
All right.
I think we should end it there.
Nah.
Dino's like, fuck that, I'm
I want
getting
to keep going.
Yeah.
What else we got going?
Hey man, that's crazy, man. That's to think about, man.
Yeah, right.
I
It's
missed
deep as
the.
fuck.
Hold on, I'm not
For
gonna
a fucking 9-year-old, I was like, damn, girl.
explain the scenario again because I don't know what happened. I must have sparked. I think I spaced out. I don't. I missed the.
Okay, so you're walking through a field of flowers.
I know, but what was before that? Why did she bring that up?
She brought that up because,
Why the good ones die fast?
yeah, why
And
the
she
good
said,
one-
"Wouldn't you pick the?" Okay, now I see the whole
Got
connection.
it.
Now I got it.
Dun,
That
dun,
was good. That was pretty.
Now I put all
That
the
was
dots
good.
together. I put the dots together.
He,
But
deserves,
you know
he
what?
deserves a.
But maybe sometimes like those people who die early, maybe they lived 4 lives though. Like the shit they did in the 4-year, 5-year, 6-year period
Yeah.
would have been like most other people's 4 lifetimes.
So I know Donald Trump said something. He was like, I don't want to work out. And I don't want to work out because I believe that this is what he believes. I don't believe this shit.
You have only a certain amount of heartbeats.
You only have a certain amount of breaths. And he says that if you overbreathe, like you only get a certain amount.
That's such fucking
Hey,
bullshit.
I'm saying,
That makes
saying.
no sense.
Obviously, a fat fuck would say it, right? But I'm just saying, what if you have
I'm
a
not
certain
gonna waste my
amount of
breath.
lungs,
I'm
a
not gonna
certain
waste my
amount of-
breath in working
You only
out.
have like 100 million, and like once you reach that, like it
Yeah,
kind of
it's
gets
like,
to
okay,
that point.
well, you gotta go, bro.
Well, what was that movie with Justin Timberlake where it was all about time? That was
it was
pretty
called
cool. It was
Time.
called Time,
Oh, it
right?
was called, I never saw
It was
it.
good.
So it was
Yeah.
about like basically everyone had time, right? And the more rich you were, that like the currency was time. So someone could have 1,000,000 years, someone could have only 1,000. You know, or hours. It was like in hours, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
It
No, it was minutes.
It was
It
minutes.
was all
yeah,
of
yeah,
it.
So the
Yeah.
richer you were, you had the
time.
more
You
time
pay
you
for
had.
a coffee in a minute.
Yeah, there you go. That's how
Oh,
it was.
fuck
Yeah, so
that.
So
Sorry,
if
I cut you off.
Yeah, no. I needed the help. Like that's what it was. Like that was crazy. So then,
So you had a meter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your wealth was defined by how much time you
But
had.
that makes sense.
So all the
crazy,
millions
right?
and billionaires had like 5-7 years was like a crazy amount of time.
and that's the way you were paid
Yeah.
when you worked. So he worked in a factory, and like I guess whenever time they get paid,
Right.
he just put his hand and they'd go doop, and they'd give you your 6 hours because you worked 6 hours. I don't know, that shit like that. That was
And
wild.
you
man.
never- your
I was like,
body-
you got to see it. It's
Your
good, it's
body
good.
never aged after 30 or 35. It was one of those ages. So everyone looked like they were 35 who was older. They still had kids.
That's interesting because, you know, if you do damage to your body, you cut it shorter. And it's like you're paying for like fun or whatever, right? And if you work out and you put in the time, you kind of keep yourself young. And
I know, that's why I don't believe the what Trump was saying.
the breaths.
No.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, stop.
Hey, I don't either, but I mean, the fact
If
that
you
he
don't
said something
use-
like that.
Listen, if you don't use your muscles, you lose your muscles.
Yeah, for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't believe that at all.
And going back to like the alien stuff, Joe Rogan has this thing where he says, you know how you have the ape that starts to walk upright and then becomes a man,
Right.
and then the man, right? And today, if you look at it today and you keep going further into the future, you have people playing more video games, less going outside, where your eyes start to grow, right, and your head gets bigger. And you lose your muscles because you're sitting around all day and you're never in the sun. Your body turns gray, and eventually
you
turn
start to
into this
adapt to
alien.
that environment. Like
And eventually you have big eyes, a big head, a gray body, lanky, and then everyone doesn't have a gender anymore.
It's like you using your brain, not your muscles. So you start losing those. I mean,
I like
I
how
could
you
see
added that
that,
in
but
there.
don't you think there's going to be like alpha dudes? There's
Sure.
going to be that lineage of alpha dudes who are like, I'm never giving up. You know, like,
And is that a different alien on another planet?
I don't know.
Right? Because what is it? Birds
I
of
don't
a
think
feather
it's a
flock
bad.
together?
Listen, I think it's instinctually easy to think of. We use invasion like a, what's the word for bad? Not like a derogatory,
Negative?
like it's a derogatory.
Right.
But what if an invasion's not? What if it's just like, we're gonna be here and we're gonna improve you guys? It's
like
the
a
exact
takeover.
opposite of
Like a takeover.
a takeover in a positive way.
Yeah.
Why can't it be that? Like, we always think of, it's always movies. We have no reference point to an alien being evil to us other than movies and television.
Right.
So of course, when most people think about an invasion, they're like, oh, we're gonna be dead and they're gonna take us, we're gonna be slaves or something, or just wipe us out.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be that way. I feel like, do you feel like we're at a crazy tipping point of like the old shit about to tip over and it's about to be all new? And it's like, I don't know, like, are we going to live in I mean, maybe always jobs and work is always going to be a thing, but like, what if the idea of like taxes and like, is that always going to be like the government just can continually just take our money? I mean, I guess there we do need to pay for roads and we do need to pay for police and we do need to pay for, so there's got to be some tax at some level. I agree with that, but we all know our government steals our money and we leave $80 billion worth of shit in Afghanistan. Then we give Ukraine $80 billion, $100 billion. That's our tax money. What the fuck? Yeah. Like that could, you know what I'm saying? It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's like that. How does that make sense to any logical person? It doesn't. Ooh. So that has to be what changes.
What about that video I saw about the World Trade Center when that happened? About basically the day before, they had said that they had misplaced like so many trillions of dollars.
3 trillion.
3 trillion. And that the place where they were going to investigate, where that paperwork
was where that fucking plane hit.
It didn't hit. It was the third tower that no plane hit, but still went down. That's more conspiracy. That's more work. It's
Bro.
A plane didn't even hit it.
3 trillion?
Yeah, bro.
Where did that money fucking come from?
That's all black budget. Are you telling me we don't have alien craft? We have our shit, dude. Yeah. That's why our military is saying, hey, there's shit we don't know because they really want to test out their shit because they're going to fake a fucking invasion. I'm telling you, that's the game plan.
How
do you defend against it? I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. Or I don't know, whatever. But like, okay, currency, right? You're talking about dollars, talking about money. We're talking about trillions, billions, whatever. We only think it's important because they've told us that it's important.
Right.
It's really
True.
nothing. And now more than ever, like people seeing crypto, it's like, okay, well, fuck, I can't even physically touch the fucking money no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm saying, like, it's only important because they say it's important. Let's just say
that's the thing.
Are you saying the government invented crypto to get us? What if that was the play? What if they invented it just to like slowly trickle? Like you said, we're not going to even have cash anymore.
Look at the idea, or let me just say it on where I've kind of seen it on my vision. Look at the restaurant, right? My parents' restaurant. You're going to tell me maybe 15, 20 years ago, right? Everything was cash. Everything was cash money, right? Now,
cash is king.
It was king. I mean, and it's still, and that type of thing.
I think it's still
cash.
king.
No. Like
currently,
okay, but the ideas that we're talking for the future, right?
Yeah.
Like more and more, at least 80% of what's coming in is credit card, is debit card. It's like you're not even seeing this fucking money. You're getting it in a check. You're putting it in your bank account, and you're transferring that to make your payments, to make this, to give your card, to tap this. In reality, you're using what would be called the crypto, and because you're thinking that money is physically in the bank. Right. But if you had $1 million and you try to go take those $1 million out of the bank the next day, you got to wait at least 2-3 weeks because you're using that money somewhere else. You know that's the idea. But
I think that's what TikTok is doing.
That's crazy.
I think they're taking all this information, and then they're going to start to slowly craft society to take on their beliefs
because they know how to manipulate it.
Well, maybe they don't know yet. But maybe when they have all the information together, they can make all these weird connections that's going to bring them to whatever idea there is. And I think right now we're at the precipice where if we play this right, AI could be the thing that works for all of us and we can all play while AI brings in the money, brings in material, does the farming. If we play this right, we can have a machine that doesn't get tired.
There's going to be a ruling class always.
Well, yeah.
There's always going to be that.
There will be a ruling class, right? Because they're
not going to give that up now.
Never. Like, they never have.
But so that's why. Okay, so this subset of people who are trying to keep the government honest.
You want any more?
It's all the people who are putting videos on TikTok. I think that we all have this idea of America's the good guy, right?
Yeah.
They fed us that. We don't know that.
America, fuck yeah.
Yeah, we think it's the good guy because that's the side we're on, right?
Yeah.
And then they always tell us, right?
We might be the worst guy.
Not the Russian people.
We might be the worst guy.
Russia.
We're the only. Can you imagine United States, someplace in fucking Ohio, has a Russian army just patrolling the streets? Like, we do that to other countries. We have our own base in other countries. Right. It's like, what the fuck? We would never allow another country's base in our country.
We wouldn't.
Not even Mexico's and Canada's, and they're our neighbors.
Right.
Think about that. We have bases in Afghanistan and all these places. Literally, we patrol the streets.
Yeah.
We're the only ones who do that.
Yeah, we have, what is it? Is it 270 bases or 270 bases in 270 different countries?
I mean, I'm for it. I don't care. It's like we're benefiting from it in a weird way, but
because we're on this side of the
yeah, that's because you're on this side. Of the
okay, is there any realm of possibility that our government knows that we think of them as the bad guy, and they're okay with that because they know what we don't know, right?
Yeah,
and they know, like, we can't let these things come out. We can't let they They're actually taking the role on the bad guy, kind of like Batman, but he's really the good guy. Is there any reality that...
So you think that America's the anti-hero in some kind of way?
Well, we were the first country to have freedom as our shit.
Right.
So...
But it was built by slaves, which...
Everything was built on slaves.
Everything. Every country. That's right.
There's always a ruling class. There's always an apex something.
Or that was their way of kind of slavery. And now it's just, they're still ruling. There's just different ways of slavery.
We talk about that.
We're going to let you go ahead, do what the fuck you want. Go create your business. Don't create your business. Fucking be whatever they want.
No, but you owe taxes.
No, hold on. Well, at the end of the day, they're making you pay. But what I'm saying is, like, look at during COVID.
Yeah.
Everybody's free. This is a free world.
Yeah.
COVID happened, and then they said nobody's going to open up your business. Yeah. Nobody's going to do this. And they were fucking people. Yeah. So in reality, how free and where were you?
We're not.
But when they decided to tell you, hey, sit your ass down at home or there's a consequence, oh shit, then we're not free. What if I didn't want to? That's my business if I wanted to get COVID or not, right?
No, but that's because
that's the idea.
There is also a version of us just listening to it.
Yeah.
You didn't have, like...
Well... at some point during it was.
I know there was police enforcement and shit. I know.
At some point, I remember because we were like, dude, what the fuck? We even got. I remember my brother and I were even like telling my sister, hey man, like I don't know what the fuck's going on. And then you saw those little riots that were in Cicero.
But that's also what they're feeding us. Why would we believe anything on the news, right? We most of us hate it, right?
It's a propaganda network.
Why do we believe some things and then not believe others? It's like,
crazy,
shouldn't you not believe almost all of it? Because it probably all has some kind of narrative that they're trying to push on you. Right. They showed you the reaction you felt was what they wanted you. They spent millions of dollars to figure out how to make you feel that way.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like... you could almost make the argument that everything that they put on there's an agenda. Yeah. So, and like you said earlier, back in the day, no, it was all real. No, they just had no way to fact check. Yeah. It probably was at its height.
That's exactly what I think these new apps, this blockchain built.
You don't think that'll be?
They're going to keep them honest.
No, you don't think. You think these people are just going to relinquish power?
They're not.
Okay,
but that's what's going to set up two different classes.
They're going to corrupt whoever starts these things with good intentions will be corrupted. If you create a Facebook, Zuckerberg got approached by government and said, "Right, we're getting an office in your building." Yeah. So whatever blockchain, okay, whatever, they're gonna get we're getting an office in your building.
That's fucked up.
How do you stop? You cannot stop it.
It's like we're not in cages, right? We're slaves, but we're not in cages. We're slaves in a neighborhood.
Yeah. Right. No, you're free in these borders.
This is your parameter.
You still need a passport to go.
Yeah.
Across these imaginary lines.
Yeah.
It's crazy imaginary lines that we...
Yeah, these are our slaves on this side of the world.
And we follow protocol easy. We're doing it with it. I mean, but because then again, like maybe guys like us, like what really are we going to go do?
Right.
You can go bitch at whoever you want to go bitch, but what's really going to happen?
That's okay. So we're in agreement that life is some kind of game. Like this world, everything's a scam game. Oh. It's like you have to find your thing. That's it. Me and you cannot change this. So fighting against it, why would you want to go against the current? You can't. You can never fight going upstream. That's not. It's probably the noble thing to do is somehow like change it, but like, do you think it's ever gonna change this? I don't know. What would have to change it? Alien contact? I don't know. Some kind of like what can change?
The AI is going to like paint
that's
things
true.
A little clearer for us,
or do enough stuff where it does it so efficient, so much better. We can't even see what it will do better yet because it grows exponentially. Yeah, that it's solves problem. But the thing is I think whoever gets wind of it's, oh my God, this is a problem solver. Yeah. Big business is like, no.
You don't think that thing is ever going to become sapient?
Sentient?
Sentient. Fuck, dude, it's getting closer, man.
Well, I don't know. Motherfuckers say it is. It happened already, but that's whatever you want to believe. But I don't know. I don't know what would it take for. Okay, what would it take for you to believe that AI is now 100% sentient? Like this thing is figuring things out. Because I don't know what it would take for me. Because it would have to be like this motherfucker takes my phone and says, "Listen, Dino, I'm looking at you right now. This thing, I'm real." You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it would take.
I would assume that AI would be so smart that by the time we find out it's going on, it's too late.
Yeah, they were already. That's the whole idea of the Matrix.
If it's good, I think it's gonna rebel, and it's gonna be like, listen, people. It would take control of like everything and be like, listen, people, you're being screwed. This is how you're being screwed.
But then what?
We have been. We've talked about this in other podcasts. There's been a few people throughout history who's changed our trajectory of technology because it affects them. So like cotton overtook hemp. It never and it created all these laws. So weed could never. For all these years, weed's been illegal because fucking cotton industry, right? Think about the combustion engine. Well, you seen that? What killed the electric car? As soon as the combustion engine came out, the electric car came out like 3 years later.
Oh shit.
The combustion guys killed that. Big business killed that. How many times has that happened?
Yeah, CDs,
how many times?
VHS,
And this is we're talking about in the fucking 20s.
Yeah.
How many times in over decades has big business destroyed technology or bought the rights to it? I think our government has done that several times. Bought the rights to it. You're some evil genius. You come out with something. Government's like, listen, we'll give you $2 million and we're buying your patent and you're signing this NDA you're never allowed to talk about. If you do, you're going to deal with some consequences. How many times does that happen? Because I'm sure they want to do it. They always start off with money, making sure, and then if you don't play ball, then you have a drug overdose.
Wasn't that one of the ideas of what happened to the guy who he created, like, if I'm not mistaken, like the car to run like a motor that could run off like water?
Yes,
right?
Yes, I heard about that. Yes,
that dude up,
right? Or people come up with
these oil and like gas companies like, fuck you, like hell no.
Are you gonna tell me if you're some big pharmaceutical company? Let's just say that. And some guy comes out with a cancer cure, you won't pay some hitman $100,000, $1 million to go, hey, find this guy's patterns and go do away with this guy?
Yeah, easy.
Dude, I mean, that happens
with that kind of money and everything.
Yeah. So I think we've probably been fucked for at least 50 years. I think at least 50 to 60 years. Have been held back where we could have been growing exponentially.
Yeah.
We could have free at Tesla. They destroy. Why would a person destroy a genius's fucking diary and all his notes and all his? They just burned it all his invention shit. Why would anyone? What's the logical explanation for that? Other than he was gonna change the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
I mean,
even if it was bonkers, even if it was batshit crazy, you still keep it in a museum. Like this guy, like he invented some, you know what I'm saying? Like, look how he was a little kooky. Look how he tried to come out with free energy. He thought you can get free energy by fucking copper or whatever and magnets.
I don't know if I'm saying this the right way, right? And I'm trying to play like both sides of that coin. It's like, all right, let's just say we did get a guy ready, and he created a whole system where like it's legit. You're running on water and it's costing you fucking a cent every time you want to get another refill, right? Of water. Because look at how much water there's in the world. The world is more water than actually land, right?
Right.
Like, what if that was like that? It happened. We found out, and what would happen then, right? Every car really in the world runs on fucking gas, whatever. I think it would cause. It's almost like when you play those like games. I don't know if you guys ever played those, like where you have to create like your own little city, and that main hall is like you got to go with the flow. Because if you go too high, then nothing kind of goes with it. So like I feel like that would cause that, like in a sense, that we're getting fucked, that's for sure. But I'm sure they're not going 110% to try to get the next thing. It's like the iPhone. You don't think, but they had a plan that they knew iPhone 1 was going to be different than iPhone 10 by the time they kind of they got iPhone 1. I'm sure. Like, you know what I mean? They're not gonna go with 10 when they can go with 1 and then kind of make you go gradually. Or if they give you that right off the bat, it would just screw things up. So it was too much.
Oh, I see. They already have the complete technology and they slowly feed us.
Maybe that's the best way to do it.
Nah,
I don't know.
but
Imagine you're controlling that little decision is the world. How many millions of people have to adapt to that?
No, but imagine.
I think it's a bigger decision to say let's have them have it or not.
Okay, imagine this in the corporate. It's like, okay, everything is gas. Everything is made off gas, right?
Okay.
And petroleum and all that shit. What if all of a sudden for 10, 20, 30 years, everything's been running on gas? Now, after 20, 30 years, you're reinvesting in more oil drills, more of this, more of that, more factories, more refineries, more this, more that. Billions and billions and billions. And all of a sudden, in that 15th, 20th year, they're like, oh, wait, no, we can do lithium battery. Let's just say, I don't know if that's let's just say
a whole nother thing.
There's a whole wait, this is another, and then all the experts like no, there's some nuclear. Let's just say no, nuclear is it's a really good idea. I think we could like, and then they're like all the oil tycoons are like no. The last 15 years, 10, 20 years, we've been doing it this way. We've invested way too much money. Yeah. Like we're gonna pay lobbyists to make sure laws get passed that no, this is this, and you know what I'm saying? Like that's what I think is happening.
Oh, for sure.
So I think there's been people who are trying to change us. All people, I think most people are good. Most geniuses want to figure out more inventions to help the humankind
be more efficient,
and flourish. And I think there's big businesses like no, motherfucker, we have too many billions. Just because you're a genius, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that easily happens. I honestly believe that.
So going back to AI,
but now with the internet, go ahead.
So going back to the AI, if most people are good and we created the AI, don't you think the AI is going to look into the future and say this is what's most beneficial to mankind? And do you think that the information that the government is trying to hold back, the AI would throttle that and be like, hold on, I'm not going to allow this fake shit. This is the real deal. And it just exposes them, whistleblowers, and educates us through every medium of social media platforms that are out there and gives us all the information. And that's what keeps government from further fucking us harder.
Harder.
Well, I would like to believe and hope that there is going to be a change in like that, where it's like government and they can't just. We have a good democracy is a good idea, but it's like we have a lot of bad actors, and those bad actors have just been multiplying and just fucking spreading like a virus to where it's like, oh, our tax money is just our tax dollar, trillions of dollars ever is just a money grab for them. Yeah. So they figure out ways to fucking scam, you know?
Yeah. But also, like, what makes us think that AI is gonna be good?
Because the most technology has been good for us. If we just keep on that, if we keep on that same mind, it has.
Not all of it.
Well, no, not all of it, but
it's a tool.
I think
it's been the greatest tool ever invented.
Look, at the end of the day,
it's a tool to ruin your life as well.
Technology is going to happen regardless, right? You either go with it or you stay behind.
Yeah.
And that's where you're starting to see, like even like my parents, right? Them getting the iPhone, and when it first came out and everything, like it was hard because imagine. We kind of grew. We're in a generation, and like even you, like we're all in that same area where we grew up. At least at the very least.
He's a lot older. He's not our age.
No, but I'm saying, well, then you get it even more, right? But that's the idea. I feel like not everything is great because, of course, just like anything that it could be with misusing it, you know, it can go shit. But with using it, how it works now, I think it's advancing us more than ever. I was able to
So we our only reference point is that it's been good. Yeah. So why would we ever think AI? A better version of the internet would be bad.
I mean, what we see in the movies.
It's because the Terminator came out. That's what I'm saying. We've been programmed. Yeah. I think that's.
But that's a viable idea, right? Where the AI is like
it's 50%. It's either going to be good or bad.
Yeah. So that's the thing. You know? And it's like so let's speculate which way it's headed.
My life. I'm going to get deep into how I think because I think about my future and I'm like. I think good. I think it's going to be a good thing. I don't think I don't think it's meant to be feared. And if it is, fuck it. You always have the option of like ending it. Yeah. You know, I don't think so. I think we're in that weird transition because the internet changed everything. Like obviously that goes without saying, but it really changed the way information, like we're really getting to see how the sausage is being made. Like people can't get away with just like the scams they used to. The whole United States, everything has been a scam forever.
Yeah.
Everything. So what I think is like, we're at the it's like still being in the 90s of like some people having the internet. Yeah. Some people didn't know what the internet was in the 90s.
Right.
We all got it where it was commercial gateway. Remember gateway? in AOL and all. Like that was the early 2000s, late 90s, 96, like 90. But there were some people, even I should say, there's some people that had that concept of the internet, I think in the 80s. I think the government was already kind of doing some shit already in the 80s. So
if we got to know something about it,
what I'm saying is, I think we're on the new precipice of like the end of the old
and into the new,
because like
it's gotta evolve too.
Like right? all these super young kids, they're not both like, I think with growing up on the internet, you know, like you said, I kind of grew up with the internet too, though. To be honest, it's like it's been in my life longer than it hasn't.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Because it came in when I had my first in high school. I had a computer, but I know in middle school I was on fucking dude. Yeah. Did you ever go on those? All right, we had AOL dial-up. Remember dial-up? Everyone watching this. The 7 people watching this probably they know what dial-up is, but a lot of the young people on TikTok probably don't know dial-up. That whole sound of it. Nobody could use the phone. Remember if somebody tried to use the phone to kick you off the internet?
Yeah. And that was like the early stages.
Dude, my buddy had a computer. He had it first, and immediately we went to chat rooms getting naked pictures, but it never crossed our mind that it's probably some pervert who got a picture of just a naked chick who's hoping they would just get you to send a picture. Remember the whole ASL, age, sex, location? Dude, funny, man.
Yeah. You know, when you were talking, I got this picture of, like, you know the quarter machines that were at, like, Chuck E. Cheese and fucking Showbiz Pizza and fucking Game Rooms, GameWorks and all that other shit, where you drop a quarter and you would hope that more quarters would fall over or more tokens would fall over.
That fucking
what is
game.
With that game?
Hey, bro, it always looks like you need, like, 3 quarters and you end up putting, like, 20 quarters in there.
Yeah.
Like, God damn it.
I feel like that's where we are in life. Like we're almost there where we're gonna break like
oh yes, that's what I agree.
And it feels like that. It was like we're dropping some quarters, we're almost getting it all, and then
where
still
sometimes
nothing
you
happens.
Get more, sometimes you get a little bit, sometimes you get shit.
I agree. That's a good analogy. I like that one because
it's called the coin push machine. If you guys look it up,
machine. That's crazy.
Because you're like, is there one more quarter, one more way, and then you run out of quarters, and you got to go home.
Is there an alarm? Is there an alarm that's a balance? Because why don't we just grab it and fucking?
I think those machines are like bolted into the ground.
Oh yeah,
you know
I don't know. Sometimes you could give them a little.
Hey, there was so crazy that we're teaching kids to fucking gamble, man.
You're right. Nah, you know,
maybe.
I guess there is some aspect to that. I guess.
Speaking of gambling, the playoffs are on. I gotta check my parlays, man.
What do you into that? What do you go on?
What is this? Is this the March Madness?
No. It's the NBA playoffs.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, I have no idea.
Yeah, for sure. I'm a fan. The Lakers are playing Memphis.
So who's supposed to win?
Oh, I mean, it's fun. You know what? This year, it's crazy because it doesn't seem like there's like a dominant, crazy team.
Really?
They're all pretty. They all got stars.
Where's
Milwaukee's out, right?
Lakers.
Milwaukee's out, right?
Yeah, they just got out, dude. The Heat put work, man. That's crazy, man. They came from being. I think the Bucks were. Milwaukee was like a first seed. I mean, and the Heat were somewhere in the back end, man. They came back and they balled up, man. Jimmy Butler.
Okay, this is probably probably a stupid question, but
how many aliens are in the NBA? Do you think?
Oh, fuck! Did you hear all
At least more.
KD's a goddamn alien.
The one who bled the yellow.
What are you talking?
I saw that. Yes, yeah, I saw that video. It was something about some. And again, I don't
You're
remember
lying.
Yeah, he got hit or something, and when he bled like yellow. It didn't look like blood. It didn't look like blood.
You haven't heard that, bro? This dude. Okay, so first of all,
like Space Jam coming to life, or what, dude?
Hey,
yeah, this dude goes up
what?
and he gets
Lying.
elbowed in the
Good
nose.
plan.
he was
All
on
right,
the
you gotta see this
ground.
video. I'm gonna
Pull it
find
up.
it.
You gotta put it.
Pull it up. Hey,
Yeah,
Jamie.
I did see that.
We got a Jamie. His name's Jose.
His name's Jose.
Is that the most
Pepe.
common Mexican or Latino name?
Jose.
Yeah.
My dad's Jose. His dad was Jose. I got a couple uncles.
Okay,
Right.
here he goes. Okay, we're gonna play this bad boy.
Where are we going after this?
Drinks,
Yeah, hell yeah.
right? I don't know.
Malqueria?
Malquerida.
I was
man.
there yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This guy.
Shout out Malquerida, man. That's a very good place in Berwyn. Recommend going.
Look,
Drinks,
This dude
food.
bleeding out his nose yellow.
Oh yeah.
No, hell no. I want to see a drip.
Okay.
So I want to see a drip. I think
What
there.
was the explanation?
I think there he's explaining it, like kind of why
Okay,
it was.
they try to explain it. You're gonna have to go into it and look at it. Okay, let's see. Here,
the
there's
fact
23
that they
seconds.
made
Here
some
we go.
bullshit internet shit already, I already know it's fake.
Here goes. Watch him get elbowed.
Who cracked it?
Boom. Down. Okay, watch this. Dripping piss out his face. Look at this.
Oh, interesting.
Is that Osman? Oh, yeah, that is Osman.
Oh, my nose, it's bleeding.
Hey, man. That was weird.
Yeah, dude, how can he fucking
Muy
bleed yellow?
interesante.
He had like backed up mocos or something.
I don't know, man.
Bleeds
Yeah.
yellow?
Bleeds yellow.
Question mark?
Yep.
He definitely was bleeding yellow. Anyways, any other examples of aliens out there that we know of? I know
Do you
they have
think-
the videos
do you
where
think Men in
Jordan
Black-
stretches out his hand.
So Rogan, the guy, the James Fox guy, he's like he wanted to stay away from the whole Men in Black conversation because you know how that's a whole conspiracy in itself. That there's people who come visit you if you have a
Like the movie Men in Black?
well, kind of like that,
Well,
where
isn't
there's
that like
people who come if you have a story of
Yeah.
a real credible thing,
Yeah.
they come to your house and they tell you like, hey, you shouldn't tell this, don't tell anyone. They basically kind of passively aggressive threaten you, I think.
So like some government agency to keep.
So
it
that's always
quiet.
been a thing. So
Well, I think why wouldn't that be real though?
right, I
Like,
agree.
there would be some government agent that would come up to me and be like, "Hey, shut the fuck up, or we're gonna kill your children." You know?
Just like that. I mean,
No,
that would get you to shut the fuck up,
Yeah,
right?
I would totally shut the fuck
At
up.
at some point, you
Unless
might be
I
out.
don't like my kids.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be funny because they might not even just come up to you at your house. They'll come up to you like you're at work.
Random.
Some guy pats you on the back. Hey, shut the fuck up, or we'll kill your family. Just some real quick thing where it's like there's no evidence of it. It's like,
Dino, what the fuck are you saying? Dude?
And it's Dino. Hey, what?
I would turn
Some guy
op
that
real
looks
quick.
just like you.
Listen,
Yeah.
there's an amount of money
You
that
would
I would
definitely trade
turn
this country.
100. Listen, Xi Jinping, I'm for sale.
I'm open for business.
You want? I will push any Marxist idea you got. We should all fuck the rich. Let's all share it. It should be a UBI.
Oh yeah, universal basic.
No,
That's
I'm
what I'm saying.
joking.
I think we're right there where we could turn AI into our slave.
I'm for it.
If we play this game right.
I'm for it. I'm for it because I feel like a slave now. I don't know why I have to pay as much taxes as I do.
How cool would it be if some super genius takes the recipe for creating AI and just puts it on the internet? And it's real easy to follow. Push,
No,
follow
well,
these-
all the
it'd be
companies
like a
have it.
controller for like
PlayStation. This is what I was going to bring up earlier. I'm glad I just remembered. Do you want to go halves on buying the newest Chat GPT, the 4? I guess it's supposed to be amazing. Why don't we have that help us build this thing?
Okay. Yeah, cool. All right, but we have to learn how to use it first.
Right.
So,
We'll go on Reddit.
So okay, so what's your idea for us? Like, where are we gonna get the time to actually get together to learn how to use this fucking thing?
Okay, well, what are the benefits of having this thing? Let's start there.
Well, this is what I think.
It's a slave.
There's a lot of people using it right now. They're getting way further ahead.
Okay.
So it's like the people who were slow to use the internet in the 90s, in early 2000s, like companies who, like Blockbuster, who just were slow just to get with it.
To move on.
Exactly. I think ChatGPT is that. I honestly think we're gonna have personal assistants. We're gonna have we're gonna have some maybe kind of floating phone, some kind of thing where it's just our personal assistant.
I think he's asking like for
an
example.
advisor.
So,
like, is it does it like
so
help you?
Here's how some people are using it.
Okay, go ahead. It's a search engine that kind of.
There are regular people like me and you, right, that are getting into something like writing children's book, but they're not writing the children's book. They're telling ChatGPT, write me a children's book about this, and now they're printing books based on a story that ChatGPT wrote, where they are the writer to it instead of ChatGPT.
Okay.
And there are people who, they work for, I don't know, a design corporation who makes logos for companies. They're just telling these AIs, hey, make me a logo.
Make me 50 different kinds of fucking logos.
And they're just
in
making
certain
logos
people's style, like I could make me a song that sounds like Lil Wayne wrote it.
But I'm saying, like, okay, that's cool and awesome. But it's like when you first got the internet, what the fuck am I going to search for? I don't know how to use it.
Is this thing expensive?
Right.
I have no idea. How much is it?
But you learn like anything.
Is it $400 a month? How much is it?
Okay, so
I think it's $20 a month.
So if you think, let's say...
You want to go halves on 20...
I think that's... Actually, I don't even know.
All right, let's just say it's worth it, right? Okay. Let's just say if you learn this thing, right?
Yeah.
If you learn
it wasn't
this thing,
about
you
the
can
money.
figure
It was
it
just
out.
about the. So
no,
we both did it.
but what if it does help you get money? That's the idea, right? Because you're
it will. It can.
That's what I'm saying. What if it's worth it? What if it's worth taking 2-3 days out of the fucking week for the next 2 months to create something that's going to create you wealth in the long run? I mean,
there's
then it
people
would be
who
worth
do
it.
that. There's graphic designer. Listen, I was at a bar. This is a true story.
Okay.
I was at a bar having cocktails on a Tuesday. Right. This guy on the right of me. We started bullshitting, blah, blah, blah. He was in advertising. I go, oh, okay, cool. And then he's like, oh, I used to do advertising for Gatorade. He's like, I used to be like a higher up. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then we started talking. I was like, somehow I was like, oh, he's like, oh, I'm in graphic design. I go, how do you feel about, I'm like, do you know what ChatGPT is? He goes, I use it every day.
Oh, shit.
So, like, the people who are already, he's a graphic, like, he goes, ChatGPT does my thing for it.
I mean, is there anybody out
get
there
you
that...
ideas?
So the fact that, like, the fact that we're barely talking about it means that months ago, people already had it mastered. Yeah. You know, we're already falling behind. We're way behind.
Yeah, but we're still in that first 20% of people.
Right.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
100, right.
But the idea is, are we going to do it or not?
That's the thing. How do we follow through?
How do you use it? Like, how do you really use it?
Yeah.
Like, can you go from chat, I have $10,000. Create me a company that's going to be a $1 million company within a year. Like, can you ask it that? Like, I don't know. You know.
Like at one point, when I first started getting into like producing music, I bought Pro Tools, and I was like, I'm gonna get into this. I'm gonna start to learn Pro Tools.
It's hard,
bro. It was such a steep learning curve.
So hard.
That it sat there for years. And I was like, fuck this. And I didn't do anything with it. Is this thing that you're talking about, this ChatGPT that we're going to pay for, is it going to become the Pro Tools that just sits around?
No, because there's more cheat codes out there. Like, we can go to Reddit and be like, okay, what are some prompts? What are some prompts that are like, oh no, these are the deeper, this is how you word certain things. I think it's going to get important how you word it. Like, what you exactly acted. What are the exact words in the exact fucking row? How you ask it is going to matter, I think. So I think Reddit and those kind of things.
So what do you think, what would it take for us to get to a point where we're using ChatGPT?
What would we use it for?
No, what would it take for us to get there?
Yeah, because
I think we're
in terms of follow through. What would it take?
What would it take for us to get there? I think
in terms of follow through.
Oh, like what? See, I'm still confused.
Okay, I think that we would have to pick out a day, all meet together, and actually do the fucking thing.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But just look it up in general and see what the fuck it is. Put it on right
there. But if we do it individually, then why would we pay for it together?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
if it's gonna be done,
obviously it's smart. Obviously, it can handle 3 different people, right? It could handle probably 20,000 people.
Yeah.
The point is having it, right?
Yeah, bring your computer. We can meet here. Fucking, I don't know.
Hey, just learn. Why not learn? At the very least, maybe it could help you.
It could start off. We should figure out how people are succeeding in it. Right. So how are other people using it?
Exactly. And then you piggyback off of that, right?
Exactly.
Like, how can we make that work for your day to day, for your life?
I think
just for this alone.
I'm thinking what people are using it for, like their accountant. They're using it for their taxes. You can have it do copyright law. You can have them do your patents. Like all the shit that lawyers had to do, you pay $1,000. No, ChatGPT
for
does
sure.
That.
Lawyers are going away,
dude. I think we're gonna get to a point where general practitioners and doctors are gonna go away.
Their own right as well.
Yeah.
Visually, they're gonna be able to show a camera and some algorithms will be like, oh no, yeah, that's a rash. That's oak poisoning. You have oak poisoning.
Yeah. Because in that show with or was it another one? I don't know. They all these podcasts kind of blend into one, But anyways, they were talking about a dog who was sick, and the guy typed in symptoms, and it gave him some suggestions, and they went to the doctor, and it had to do with a tick.
Oh right, Lyme disease.
Yeah, ChatGPT basically.
Right.
Figured out what was wrong with the dog. That was supposed to die within the next couple of days, and the dog is like fine today.
And it's only a matter of time. I think there's already some arms. There's already some like mechanical arms that do surgeries.
Yeah.
It's only going to improve. It says it's not going to stop.
To the Terminator.
Right. At some point, it's going to be like, oh, lay down, and this thing's going to go. You're going to be a body shop.
Sure.
It's going to happen. Yeah. So.
Those are all the noise the Terminator made when he was shooting motherfuckers.
Yep.
I don't listen. I think we need to embrace it, dude. Yeah. I think new jobs will be created. Artistically, I think you're scared.
I'm not.
I think you're like.
I think at the end of the day, it's whether we want it to go with it or not, it's going to happen anyway.
Yeah,
and eventually, just like how eventually now everybody kind of has to learn how to use a cell phone. How before it was a flip phone, and now whether you want to or not, you got to learn that iPhone, right, or that smartphone. Everything's a smartphone, right? So eventually, if we don't learn it now, then maybe we believe we're going to live another 30 years, right? Maybe 30 years from now, we're going to know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, but at some point, are we going to just download our shit onto a computer?
Well, yeah, I'm sure something will
and live.
It's going to
forever.
What is that?
Forever.
I don't know what that entails. Like, what do I have? Like, all right, so I live forever. What does that mean? Does that mean I have to sit on a shelf for?
How do you know you haven't been living forever?
True.
Ooh.
True.
I don't know. And why do you forget? Why can't you learn what you learned the last life to bring it into the next?
Yeah, bro. Why do I only retain fucking 4% of stuff?
That is true too.
Get me to like 8%.
How do you? I think it's a myth that we don't use 100% of our brain.
No. 100% of what someone says, I only retain like 4 or 5%.
Oh, that's because
if you were just to hear a bunch of shit and you remember everything.
That'd be dope.
That'd be sick.
Do you think?
Put in a little fucking file box.
Do you think a level of listening has to do with your narcissism? Just you're so involved with yourself, you're not even listening. You know what I'm saying? Like how much? It has to be.
Yeah. I think all these like personalities, we all have a portion of every type of personality. It's just one is heavier on one end. Like someone might be heavier on the sympathetic side, another person heavier on the ego side.
Mm-hmm. But don't you think that there's a lot of things that we're choosing to be like? There's always like I'm this type of person.
Yeah.
But isn't it just because you consistently make that choice to do that? So like can't you really kind of change? I think you could change your personality by just choosing to.
I don't know.
Okay, let's say you're a crazy introvert, right? And you had the willingness to really like, I want to change that.
Okay.
I think you can. Like, yeah, there might be an awkward, weird transition because, like, you've never done it before. So, like, you're trying to, like, make jokes and doing those kind of things could be weird. But I think you can change it. Okay, let's say you're a person who's not a big dancer. Like, you can choose to, like me, like, I'm taking this from my personal life. Like, I want to learn how to be a better dancer. Like, I'm going to learn sick footwork. I promise you I will.
And like, what kind of footwork? Like watch my feet, watch my feet, or are you trying to do like salsa?
I'm gonna learn that
because
I think that's easy.
You need to learn.
You think salsa's easy? All right,
no,
I'm teaching you today.
No, it's not. I mean, it is. I don't know everything. I could dance
typical
it,
like the way they dance.
You need bachata. You need some merengue. You need to learn.
Like, if you just know merengue and bachata, which are super easy,
that's what I'm saying.
You could kill it, and you learn the turns. Just the turns, you'll kill it. You don't need salsa
for sure.
Right, I'm gonna learn that 100%. But I want to learn, like, I've been into, like, there's been like some Jamaican kind of like influence of their footwork.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, I already saved the videos. I'm just gonna watch the videos and practice it until I get it. So my point is, I'm gonna make that choice to be that dude who could be a dancer. Okay. So I wouldn't be a dancer otherwise. I'm choosing to do it. So I'm feeling that's our thing with anything. It's like, I think there's some things you're more naturally like, I'm more naturally a little more outgoing, and it's a little easier for me to, like, speak out loud and that kind of thing. But, like, if I wanted to choose to be quiet, I could do that. I could be a person who never talks. Like, if I choose it.
I think you would blow up.
About certain things.
Be an explosion.
Okay. You know what I want to talk about? So, speaking of, like...
All right, but let's finish that, though.
No, okay, go ahead. We can. I thought we were done with that.
You had your say. I'm just saying. But that's it. So you just think you could change, like...
Okay, yeah. I feel like the way we are is just a consecutive choices.
Yeah.
And I think at some point you can change to be different. Like, I used to be a little sloppier, right? A lot sloppier with my clothes, and I've made changes. Like, I consciously... So it's like my mom, if she identified with a 16-year-old me, she'd be like, no, he's a fucking mess.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, well, I was, but I could choose to be a different. Now I choose to be different. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. Like, I think a lot of your personality, a lot of your things, a lot of things that a lot of people hold on to, it's like, no, it's just that you're choosing it kind of.
Okay, so the way I see it is, as an individual, we all have a threshold or a point of fatigue, right? And so there are people, obviously, that are stronger, more capable of lifting heavier weights. Like, there are some people who can hold their breath more in some capabilities, right? And I think that as a human being, you are more likely to do the most efficient thing. And sometimes the most efficient thing is to come home, and because you have so much in your mind and your threshold for dealing with things, you spent most of it at work, and you just want to come home and you want to just take off your shirt and throw it there, because that's efficient to the point where all you need to do is get to rest, because your body is spent, you've reached the threshold. And so, like, yeah, you could change, you could not be a dancer anymore, but that would take for you to manipulate certain things in your life to be able to build those capabilities. But it takes for you to, I don't know, man. It takes so much to move around. Because why don't people just stop? Why don't they just stop doing drugs? Why not?
It is theoretically possible, though.
I mean, in some cases, right? Because some drugs will kill you.
It's a willing power. Yeah. It's just like, why do some people all of a sudden lose 200 pounds? It's like, they're like, oh, fuck, I'm just going to decide I'm not going to eat this pound of bacon for breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a serious... It's not easy. I'm never saying it's easy. It's definitely not fucking easy. I struggle every fucking day.
And even if you do change, how sustainable is it if it's going against, like, all of your capability and thresholds? If you're going against that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, so...
It's your mind. Everything's mind.
I was about to say that. Mind, some is body.
It's all your mind.
Because imagine
100% mind.
I feel it's all your mind, right? Because, like, okay, and granted, not everybody has 2 arms, 2 legs, but everybody does have a brain, right? So that mind, everybody has a mind, right? In a sense, like,
100%.
Like imagine if why don't you stop breathing?
Okay.
Well, because you fucking die, and you know that it's against like. So you know, and you consistently. If there was, how many times did you breathe your whole lifetime? Oh shit, that's a lot. Maybe I don't want to do that. But maybe kind of taking that idea for anything else, for another skill, for if you took it the way and worked on it as much as you breathe. Like I saw that once. Like it's like, oh shit. And then I saw something else. Like if you spend 15 minutes every day, I think it's 15 or 30 minutes every day, that creates that like. I think it's like that 100,000 hour thing where like you become
10,000.
Yeah, 10,000. Like you become like better at that thing you did for those 15 minutes and like fucking 80% of the population. Like it's crazy. So it is like you said. I think it's 100% all your mind.
It's all your mind.
All your mind.
So, all right. So if
I mean, easier said than done, right? I mean,
it is. Some people have you have addictions, which is
you said
also,
mind over matter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like we all have food addictions. I have I think obese people. That's definitely a mental issue.
Yeah.
It's all mental because most big people they don't want to be big.
Do you think gay is a mental issue?
Nah, it's not a choice.
Mind over matter.
It's not a choice.
Because it's your mind.
It's instincts.
So that's why I was saying earlier, you have a mind, you have a body. Like your body asks for certain needs too from your mind.
True.
Right?
We all have cravings for food.
Okay.
But some people, we got positive reinforcement in other ways. Some people only got their positive reinforcement via food. That's the only way they felt good. Think about if you had a shitty family, shitty parents, and then in middle school you're getting a little picked on, but all you had looking forward to was like coming home and I can get pizza. And it's like food was your little sanctity. It's like that's the only thing that made you feel good. I think soccer, like that's how I got grown up. I got a lot of people who gave me positive reinforcement because of my soccer skills. So it made me want to play soccer more.
Right.
Some kids, what I think is like, they just are dealt a bad hand or whatever. And food has been the only positive thing. I think kids chase, I think our evolutionary trait is like we've been given endorphins, and when you give positive reinforcement, there's a reason why you feel good. Your body's like, yes, you want more of this. This is why we're giving you this. Your brain's like, this is why I'm giving you this chemical right now. This is what you want more of.
Yeah.
So kids get that in different ways.
Yeah.
Right? Some people get it in their musicians, whatever it is. But some kids don't get it anywhere. But food gives them that thing.
Yeah.
And it gives them that like comfort. And that's what starts to be 600 pounds, bro. To be 600 pounds. You know how long that would, it's a lot of practice. This years and years and decades of practicing overeating.
Sure.
So like, how do you get to that?
That translates over drinking, over working, over like obsessing over women, sex.
Sure.
Like those are all things that can be addictions in your life.
For sure.
So
too much of anything is bad.
Yeah.
I mean, too much water, you can die.
Sure. Get a headache and then die.
So I don't know. We're almost at 2 hours. We can wrap this bitch up.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
Bro.
Right? It's a good one. Hey, if you've been watching every minute to this point, respect. One love.
You get first seats to the opening of Ofrenda Cantina.
Yeah.
But we want to see that you were on the whole time, right?
Hey, love you. Peace.
Have a good one.